and Leicester City are just one step away from dropping into the third tier of English football, League One. 10 years after producing one of the greatest shocks in English football history by winning the Premier League, the club now finds itself at the complete opposite extreme. It is at serious risk of being relegated to the third division. A sequence of management errors, poor decisions, and planning failures has pushed Leicester into one of the biggest crises in its history. When I look at the current situation, I see a very worrying scenario. The team was already poorly placed in the championship table and, to make matters worse, suffered a heavy punishment, a 6-point deduction for breaching the league's financial regulations. As a result, the fight is no longer about promotion or stability, but essentially about avoiding relegation to League One. That historic title came in the 2015-16 season with a very strong team led on the pitch by Jamie Vardy. After that triumph, Leicester managed to remain relevant for a few more years, building competitive squads and consistently finishing in the middle of the Premier League table. No small achievement, considering it is probably the toughest league in the world. In 2021, the club lifted another major trophy, the FA Cup, which seemed to cement Leicester as an established force on the domestic scene. From that point on, however, the trajectory was almost entirely one of decline. Falling sporting performances, poor transfer decisions, and mounting financial problems. Relegation in the 2022-23 season marked a turning point. Even after going down, Leicester still had the 7th highest wage bill in the Premier League that season. In fact, the highest wage bill ever recorded by a relegated club in English football. After relegation, wages were cut by 48%, but even then, the figure remained the highest in the history of the championship. The club managed to return to the Premier League in 2023-24, but the 2024-25 campaign was disastrous. Performances were far below expectations, and Leicester were relegated again, finishing the season 17 points behind the team in 17th place. Upon returning to the Premier League, the club was already accumulating losses and, even so, chose to assemble an expensive but uncompetitive squad in an attempt to stay in the top flight. The outcome on the pitch was dreadful, just 25 points and a goal difference of -47. This new relegation sent Leicester back to the second division while still carrying high costs, an unbalanced squad, poor sporting performance, and significantly reduced revenues. What we see today is precisely the consequence of this explosive combination of poor financial management and bad results on the pitch. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to enjoy plenty of football content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There's football here every week. Coming back to Leicester City, you're enjoying the video, right? But inside the club, it's fair to say that the main figures blamed for the crisis are the directors and investors. Criticism has been particularly harsh towards the Thai businessman and CEO of King Power, who is also the club's key decision-maker. The company bought Leicester in 2010, and he took over as club chairman in 2018. The fans have had enough of the incompetence, staging frequent protests and mobilizing to try to prevent the worst from happening. The chaos in the club's boardroom became clear with the 6-point deduction in the championship for breaching the competition's financial rules. An independent commission reviewed the club's accounts and concluded that violations had occurred over a 3-year period, ending in the 2023-24 season. Leicester, for its part, described the punishment as disproportionate and has made it clear that it is considering its next steps in an attempt to challenge the decision. From a financial perspective, Leicester's biggest mistake was failing to properly prepare for the sharp drop in revenue following relegation. In the Premier League, even teams that finish at the bottom receive between $100 million and $110 million in broadcasting revenue. In the Championship, that figure collapses to around $5 million. On top of that, sponsorship and matchday income also suffer a significant decline, both in value and in the number of deals and prices involved. The club tried to match the level of investment of its rivals, spending heavily on transfers and long-term contracts, but made too many mistakes in the quality of its signings. The bloated wage bill, already the seventh highest in the Premier League at the time of the first relegation, became a massive burden, pushing Leicester into breach of financial regulations and effectively blocking any meaningful investment in the near future. And of course, all this financial and sporting instability is directly reflected on the pitch. The team is going through a dreadful spell, struggling to pick up positive results to escape the bottom of the table and gain any sense of stability in the competition. Pressure has increased, the atmosphere has become tense, and even former head coach Martí Cifuentes was dismissed. Since then, the club has been trying to rebuild and get back to winning ways. Let me know in the comments, do you think Leicester will avoid relegation? And also comment if you'd like to see the full history of the club here on the channel. Before I go, I'm leaving another video in the card. Click it and stick with us. Subscribe to the channel and see you next time.